Now, hello, today we will start learning thermodynamics. The word thermodynamics is derived from two Greek words, therm meaning heat and dynamis meaning power or energy. So, thermodynamics is the study of heat and its changing to different forms of energy and or work. You can see how heat can be converted into mechanical energy. Here we see the steam engine where heat is used to boil water, converts water to steam. Steam is used to run the wheels of the engine. Next, here we see heat energy is used to heat up the tungsten filament. Over here inside the bulb, the tungsten filament glows, and that's how we get light. In the third case, you are seeing that the sun's heat is falling on the solar panel and it is converted by the photovoltaic cells in it into electrical energy, which we all use in our homes. Next, why then do we need to learn thermodynamics at all? What connection does it have in nature? It has. You see here these formation of icebergs in nature is governed by certain laws of nature. What are these laws? Can we learn them? Can we understand them and use it for in our artificial processes for our own benefit? Here is one more example, eruption of volcanoes. We know that when there is a high pressure built inside the earth's core, it comes out in the form of what comes out? The gas inside the mantle comes out in the form of, here you can see thick smoke. It brings along up with it the boulders, and of course you can see large flames. So that is the natural phenomena. Again, these natural phenomena take place spontaneously. So spontaneously we can see also that water flows from a higher level to a lower level, that is gushing down the mountains into a valley. Can we not use these laws of nature to do non-spontaneous processes like lifting water from underground to some overhead reservoir? We can use, or we can build a pump and then we can use it for lifting water from underground to overhead reservoirs and supplying it to tall buildings. Again, you see here the non-spontaneous process of climbing uphill. These mountaineers here are having a hard time climbing uphill, unlike the water gushing down from a high level to a lower level. So what does this imply? We can say that we can climb mountains, we can explore what is there on top of the mountains, and we can use nature's law to understand how to climb mountains easily. So these are non-spontaneous processes which we just saw. Then, so we understand that to understand the laws of nature governing different processes in nature itself, we need to understand thermodynamics. When this thermodynamics branch is applied to chemistry, we call it chemical thermodynamics. So it is just study of conversion of one form of energy into another and then utilizing that in the form of work. Now, if something will come up to your mind, is there something called physical thermodynamics? No, not really. Thermodynamics is basically one topic which even physicists are interested in. And when they are applied to chemical reactions, we call it chemical thermodynamics. Basically, you can find that thermodynamics is of two types, classical and statistical. What is that now? Classical thermodynamics is something applied to macro systems. Like when you have something which you can see visually, you can change the properties of that system and do it manually or by some machines. Statistical thermodynamics is something which is dealing with the study of microscopic objects or microscopic level. We study molecules. Then you will say, does thermodynamics hold for that molecular level also? Yes, unless it holds for the molecular level, we cannot apply to the classical level, because whatever laws govern the classical level of thermodynamics should be also applicable to the statistical level, and of course with modifications. Now, are the two branches completely different? Of course they are. We saw the size. That's the most important part. The properties will remain the same. And when we apply the properties to the statistical level or study the properties at the statistical level, we must make certain modifications to apply that property to the classical level, that is the macroscopic system. Then what are the advantages of studying this subject? That is one more question that may peep in your mind. The advantages of studying thermodynamics is we can understand how one form of energy can be converted into another form, how using one form of energy we can convert it into work, and how we can use this work in running machines, in helping us or helping mankind in easing out his day-to-day course. Any limitations of this subject? Yeah, there are plenty of limitations, out of which the first and foremost is thermodynamics does not tell us anything about the rate of the reaction. It only deals with the initial state of a system and the final state of a system. It does not tell either about any mechanism which is involved in the process of conversion of system from state 1 to state 2. Alright, we are talking so much about system. So what is a system? These are the terminologies we must learn before learning thermodynamics in detail. A system is any part of the universe which is under study for thermodynamic properties. Systems are of three types, mainly closed system, open system, isolated system. Of course, there are many more other types of system, but we deal with these three types in the initial stages.